Hello everyone, it is, I don't even know the date today. It's Wednesday and I'm just doing an update here. We've had I don't want to say an incident, but we've had something large happen. So I'll show you all what is going on there and along with the progress that we're making. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all you need to hear from me, and I'll turn this thing around so I can show y'all. So just to give you a little update, I can't remember what I showed last time here because it's been a week, but my son and I put a sill seal down. It's like this little pink strip. It's exactly the width of 2x6. So we put that all down. Down here so you can kind of see it with this little pink stuff, little foam stuff, and it seals between the concrete and the bottom plate. And of course we put down the pressure treated wood for a bottom plate to keep termites and other water damage away, rot and such, and cranked them all down onto the J-bolts. And biggest thing is we've got some framing done finally. So we put the double top plate up and we jacked everything up and just checked kind of in the first three here to make sure that everything was level. And then we just pretty much cut every 2x6 in this outside wall the same length so that it would just be, because we know that this bottom concrete wall and bottom plate is all level. So as long as we put the same height or length of 2x6 in the wall, everything should be nice and level. So we framed out for a door here. We had to put a 2x4 header in here, which probably isn't good, but the ceiling is so low in here, so I wanted a nice 36-inch wide door by a regular height. I think it's, I can't remember what it is, 6'10" or something like that, 6 foot 10 inches. Anyway, can't remember. And then framed out this window with a regular 2x10 header. And then I'll put a couple of 2x6s in here as well. And I can't remember if they call them cripples. I can't remember the name exactly, but anyway, they're under there to support the weight of the window. And then I left this one out because we've got an actual interior 2x4 wall that'll be here, separating this homeschool room from the laundry room. And then here's our pipe, and that'll be just this side of where that 2x4 interior wall will be. And so it'll come up and make a 90 into this interior wall here, where the washer and dryer will be against. So there'll be a wall here that goes all the way behind me to the basement wall, and then a wall that'll go right here that'll divide the laundry room from the mechanical room where the hot water heater and all the plumbing valves and electrical box will be. And then also, just to slowly pan back, so our meter box will be on the outside of this wall, and then our breaker panel will be on the inside of this wall, and then we'll trench from here all the way over there and just around the corner to the power pole, and that's where our underground service will be. So we've got a crazy amount of jacks right here because the deck, as it gets closer to this corner, goes further and further and further down. It sinks. So we just had to jack, we were having to jack things to the moon here. So this last place here where we need to put the 2x6 here, that will be the top plate for this wall. I've jacked this as far as I can, and it's still bending down just a little bit, and this beam is actually up off of its deck block, and I can wiggle it back and forth. So what I need to do is separate what will be the deck from the house between this joist and that joist, and then that'll allow this to settle a little bit and not be so stiff. So anyway, I'm just going to leave that there because I have to put in one last stud in the corner there, and but first I have to take this off and this off so I can butt the 2x6 for the top plate, the top plate, up against there and nail it to that beam. the joist, and then put the next top plate in there and tie it right into this little box right here. And then I'll be all set, and then I can put the stud up there. So anyway, it's a lot of weight and pressure and stuff. So I'm just leaving that alone, that corner alone for right now. And then over here, I've started to frame this out. And as we were doing it yesterday, my son was like, "Is there supposed to be a window here and a window there?" And I was, so it's at the end of the day, and I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right, and I'm done for the day. So today I got to take out this stud here and frame out a window, and then just continue on here. And I've marked it with a little X so I don't forget to not put a stud here and frame out a window over here. So I'm gonna finish this wall, start coming around here, put a little header in over this doorway. It'll be an opening with a nice big custom barn door. And then we'll continue framing all the way out to here, and then we'll turn. And I'm thinking I'm gonna start framing from this side, so then when I'm framed out, then I can just put a jack under here and then a jack over here, and that'll allow me to take all this stuff down, so there'll only be weight really on the last, kind of just be hanging out, but the last, I don't know, 6 or 8 feet or so. And then we should be able to take care of this whole corner and finish framing the whole addition out. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing now. The big change, I don't know if change is the right word, but I don't know if you all remember prior, me showing you this back basement wall, but we had a storm come through, caused a couple of tornadoes in Middle Tennessee, but it just dumped a ton of rain. And with that rain came a lot of pressure, and now our basement wall has cracked big time and bowed. It's got a serious buckle/bow in it. It's hard to see on camera, but you can kind of see the direction of the bow here, but that's not good. So we have an insurance policy on the house. It's not homeowner's insurance because this thing is under construction, so we had to carry a different sort of insurance. Now, I don't know if it's covered, but we called insurance. They sent out a really nice gentleman today. He took pictures and measurements, and he said, this is probably one of the larger ones I've seen, and in my opinion, it would probably need replacement. Now, what that means, I don't know. I don't even know if it's going to be covered, but this is the first step. So I don't know if you remember before, there was a really tiny hairline crack here, and not a big deal. I was just going to pour concrete with rebar, and it was going to mitigate it all. Well, that giant rain came and took care of this before I could mitigate it. So now this crack is completely new, and this hairline crack has turned into about 1/2 inch. And the bow itself, which in order to measure it, what you do is you take a long level like this, and you put it upright right against where the biggest part of the bulge of the crack is. And then where it's level, you take a tape measure and you measure from the base out to the level. And it measures anywhere between 2.5 and 3 inches. This is an 8x8 by 16 wall, meaning the block is 8 inches wide, 8 inches tall by 16 inches long. So the width of the wall is 8 inches. Now what the reading that I've been done, wow, good English. The reading that I've been doing says that most professionals will mitigate this, meaning they'll stop the continuous buckling by putting rods in, carbon fiber rods, or straps, sometimes they call them, or they will put a metal post in, they'll drill it and anchor it in the bottom, and then up here they'll drill and anchor into the 2x floor joists and push it and put pressure against it and then just leave it. And so all that stuff is behind the wall because you have to frame it out, or it just stays if you've got a basement that you're not going to finish out. But anyway, so that would all be in place and then just sit there forever. So it sort of mitigates it in the sense where it's not going to buckle any further, but it's really not addressing the root cause, which is water pressure. So anyway, these companies say that they won't mitigate it. They'll just recommend replacing it if the deflection in the largest part of the bow is 1/3 of the width of the wall or more, which in our case, that would be 2.5 inches. So the 3-inch part, where it's 3 inches, would exceed that 1/3 thickness, in which this case, this wall would need to be replaced. Now, I'm not putting words in any professional's mouths, but that seems to be the case in what I'm reading on a lot of websites for companies that do this sort of thing. So I'm sure that varies from company to company. But so anyway, this is beyond my level of expertise, and the amount of work that needs to take place to do this is beyond what I'm willing to do here. So, but I may have to. We'll see what the insurance company covers, if they cover anything. So that's the first step. So we're going to find out. But I just wanted to show you all. This is what water pressure does to a block wall. I mean, it's sad. It made me cry inside. Just seeing this damage. Ashley and I came here on Sunday after the storm, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and I just kind of wanted to look and see if anything happened. And there's a little bit of water that came in the holes in the wall, but then she looked up and pointed, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, look at the wall!" And that's when I was sad. So anyway, you can see all the stair stepping and huge cracks, and just lots of issues. And then even over here, you can see that this top part of the wall is actually shifted off the bottom part of the wall. And even down here in this stair stepping, some of the blocks have come in, I don't know, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. I'm at a loss. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, because it's tough when you put this much work and effort and money into a house, and then to have, the insurance company say, "Well, I'm sorry, that's not covered." So hopefully that's not what they say. Hopefully they cover this. Whatever that looks like, I'm not sure. But anyway, just wanted to show you all that and the framing that we've been doing. So that's kind of the update for today. And I'll try to put another update up this week, just showing the other work that I'm going to be doing, because I'm just going to continue to work like nothing happened, and just try to keep my mind off of it. And so we'll see. I'll let you all know when we hear back from the insurance company. So as always, thanks a lot for tuning in, spending your time with me, and we'll see you all soon.